week 7 predictions. So this week is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be a good week. So we have my dad. You can see it says rest in peace on the bottom. He's not dead, but he's pretty much there already. So he's not obviously in the right mind to make picks. I mean, he hasn't been in the right mind to make picks in like since the season began because he's too crazy. But now he's just being an asshole and he doesn't even want to do it anymore. But anyway, you've seen the videos of him, so he's lost his mind. So, I tried to get picks from him, but he's not going to do it. But he has sepsis now, so he'll probably be dead pretty soon anyway. So, unfortunately, he's not going to make picks anymore. But I'm still going to keep his slide here because, why would I get rid of it? He's my dad, right? Okay, kind of a sad way to start the video. But anyway, I went 13-2 last week. Oh yeah, my dad went 7-8, so he didn't do very good. Anyway, on a more positive note, I went 13-2. So that ties Greg's record because he went 14-2 earlier in the year. So I know this is 13-2, but there's also a teams on buys, so there's really nothing I can do about that. I basically tied his record and tied the season. Like, out of all the predictions I've ever made, I think the best that I or anybody else has ever gotten is 14-2. So I tied it there. So it takes me to 60-32. You saw my dad's overall record earlier. I think it was 57-38, something like that. But Greg's is 55-37. And he went 10-5, but I'm pretty sure that him and my dad are still within one game right now anyway. But obviously he's going to overtake my dad because he's not going to be predicting. But I couldn't just let it be me and my Greg, or I mean, I couldn't let it just be me and Greg predicting. So, because it needs to be a 3-person prediction video, right? So I got a new person. So this is Zach. So he's an Eagles fan, obviously, but he's going to be doing predictions with us too. So now we found our third member again. So we still are going to be predicting threes because it's just more fun that way. So my prediction of Thursday night football is Bengals Steelers. I'm actually going to subdue it. I just had a couple upset picks this week. I'm going to take the Bengals by 3. I mean, the Steelers are good. Obviously, they're 4-1, but they definitely have flaws too. And I think their defense isn't as good as they need to be. And I think that Jamar Chase and if Joe Flacco even just plays okay, they can exploit that defense. And the Steelers' offense isn't that good either. But they are playing the Bengals defense, so they probably could win this game. Greg took the Steelers, no surprise. I don't know what happened to my voice. But Greg took the Steelers. No surprise there. And then Zach also took the Steelers 31-17. So yeah, this is my first upset pick of the video. London game, Rams, Jaguars. I took the Jaguars by 3. Technically, the Jaguars are at home in this game, so home field advantage. Plus, Puka Nacua might be out for this game, and the Rams underperformed against the Ravens. Of course, you can't take that into too much effect because teams underperform all the time. Like the Giants did it against the Saints and then beat the Eagles, so that doesn't mean everything. But I just think the Jaguars are pretty good too. They're 4-2, so I think the defense will probably win them this game. Greg will take the Rams. Makes sense. I can see them uh, having a shootout here. And if this does turn into a shootout, I would definitely pick the Rams to win. And then Zach will also take the Jaguars, which makes a lot of sense because, like I said, they're at home and Puka Nacua might not even play. Patriots Titans 21-14. I think just a pretty boring, low scoring game. The Patriots are going to do what they have to do to get the win. And the Titans have a new head coach now. I don't even know who it is, but I think that the Titans will show some sparks after their head coach getting fired. Teams usually do that. Greg agrees 24-10 Patriots. This one's not very interesting. And then Zach has a blowout 38-13. I don't think the Patriots are going to blow them out. They definitely have potential to, but I think it's actually going to be close for some reason. Um, Raiders Chiefs, I think this is going to be close too, although the Chiefs are at home and the Chiefs' home field advantage is crazy. So, yeah, that sucks for the Raiders. I think that Ashton Genty is going to get bottled up. Um, he's not going to be able to run. The Chiefs' runs defense is really good. If Geno Smith can pass the ball, then, you know, there you go. I think that's going to be the Raiders' only way of winning this game. And the Chiefs basically just have to play mistake free football, and then they should win. Um, Greg also predicts the Chiefs to win a little bit closer, only a field goal, but I get that. Raiders Chiefs games are always close. Um, Zach doesn't think so. The Raiders scoring 6 points, that's a bit ridiculous to me. The Raiders aren't a great team, but I mean, it's a division game. Division games are usually closer than they should be. Dolphins Browns. I'll take the Dolphins 30-17. Yeah, the Dolphins look good. The Browns are at home, though. I think we have to take that into consideration. But the Dolphins are just a really confusing team because they have an electric offense and their defense isn't even that bad. Although that Jalen Phillips sack on Justin Herbert was pitiful, his effort was crazy. He had Justin Herbert wrapped up and then he just let go. And I was like, oh, well, now the Chargers won that game. So, yeah, the Dolphins' defense is nothing good. Greg took the Dolphins as well. No surprise. Although the Browns are at home, so I can see them getting the upset win here. And then Zach also took the Dolphins. This wouldn't be a bad pick for an upset. I can definitely see the Browns defense single handedly winning them this game with a pick six or something. Uh, okay, Panthers Jets. I took the Jets in this game. Maybe I'm making the same mistake that I always make when picking the Jets, but I can't see them going 0-7. And last week their offense sucked, but they figured out something on defense, and that tells me that because earlier in the season their offense was great, their defense sucked, but then last week their defense was great and their offense sucked. So if we mix those two together, they figured out how to play defense. And the Panthers are a weird team. They're like prime, 2007 Patriots when they're at home. They look unstoppable, but then when they're away, they suck. It's just facts. Like they were at home against the Falcons, they blew them out. Next week, they were away against whoever, and then they got blown out. So I think they're actually going to lose this game. Obviously, Greg doesn't agree. I mean, the Panthers are on a roll right now. How could you bet against them? So I understand that. And then Zach also took the Panthers 31-3. So obviously he um, really likes the Panthers in this game. But I think that Rico Dowdle's going to get stopped. I think that this is the tale as old as time. You know, Rico Dowdle gets 30 plus points, and everybody's like, it's probably a fluky game. Then he does it again, and everyone's like, oh, okay, now we got to put our money on him. Now we got to, now he's a real running back. And then the third week it happens, that's when he's going to get like 2 fantasy points, and everybody's going to be like, shit. Why were we so stupid to believe in Rico Dowdle? And then, yep, that's what's going to happen. Saints Bears. I'll take the Bears at home, only by 3 though. I think it's going to be close. Uh, I don't know why. I feel like it's going to be close. The Bears just won 2 games, 25-24 or whatever it was, by a field goal. So the Bears always play teams close. And I think the Saints actually aren't that bad of a team, but the Bears' home field advantage is definitely going to help them. Greg finally did it. Greg finally took the Saints, his favorite team. This is the first time all year that he actually picked his team to win. So I respect it. And honestly, if there was ever a game to do it, this would probably be the one anyway. Um, because I don't know. I definitely have that gut feeling that the Saints can definitely win this game. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like the Saints can just have a really good offense sometimes, and their defense isn't very good. The Bears' defense is very good, so everything's pointing towards the Bears here. But I don't know. I can see the Saints winning. Zach is going to take the Bears 38-10. I think maybe a little too high on the Bears here. The Saints aren't that bad, so I don't really understand that one. I mean, it could happen if the Bears figure something out, and the Bears' defense is good, like I said, so I can see it. Eagles Vikings. I'm gonna take the Vikings by 3. This is a really tough matchup. I don't know. The Eagles can definitely win. I just feel like the Vikings defense is good enough to stop the Eagles. And the Vikings defense is really the only way they're going to win this game. I don't think that their offense and Carson Wentz can carry them. But the Eagles also haven't shown me anything on offense. In fact, all of the Eagles have shown me is that if the other team's defense can stop the run and then also stop the pass, then the Eagles will just give up and go into tush push mode, and then everything falls apart. So I think that's probably what's going to happen here, and the Vikings are going to end up winning it by 3. Greg disagrees and will take the Eagles. So it's probably the smart pick. The Eagles' defense is better than the Viking. I mean, the Eagles' offense is better than the Vikings' offense, but I think that the Vikings' defense is better than the Eagles' defense, and defense wins championships, right? Zach's an Eagles fan, so that doesn't surprise me that he picked the Eagles. It is a pretty close margin though, 21-17. This is a pretty good score, I'd say. Colts Chargers. I'll take the Colts by 3. It's going to be a very interesting game. Uh, both teams have really good defenses. Both teams could have explosive offenses. I feel like the Colts have showed more of an explosive offense throughout all these weeks than the Chargers have. And the Chargers just have been fluky, like losing to the Giants, and then even last week they should have lost to the Dolphins. So I don't know. Chargers have been fluky. The Colts, though, have been pretty consistently good all season. So I'm just going to trust the Colts here. Greg is also going to trust the Colts 34-17. Makes sense. The Colts defense is really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hold the Chargers. And then Zach's actually going to make a surprise pick and take the Chargers. They're at home, so I can definitely see it happening. But I just think the Colts defense is too good. But I would like to see it be a shootout because I think that it definitely has potential to be a shootout. This probably doesn't. But I don't know. Both these teams are weird. Both these teams are very similar in the aspect of pretty good defenses. I trust the Broncos defense more than the Giants defense. But both these teams, good defense, mediocre offense. I don't even know whose offense I'd rather have. I'd probably actually rather have the Giants offense than the Broncos offense. The Giants have just shown more. But anyway, I'm still going to take the Broncos. I just trust their defense a little bit more. But a very low scoring, pretty boring game. I don't think you should start anybody in fantasy in this game. Greg will take the Giants, actually. I think this is Greg's second favorite team now. It seems like he takes the Giants every week. But anyway, sorry, I'm yawning a lot. I don't know why I just woke up, but 25-16, pretty odd score, but I like it. I like this upset too. I feel like the Giants can definitely win this game with a little bit of luck. Zach will take the Broncos 20-17. So yeah, all pretty close scores, like 3 points, something like that, which makes sense. It's going to be low scoring, a defensive battle. Packers Cardinals. I'm gonna do another surprise pick here and take the Cardinals. this will probably come back to bite me in the ass. But I don't know. I feel like I've taken a lot of upsets, but last week they worked out for me. I took the Falcons and the Bears both on Monday night, and I got them both right. So, calculated risks. This is a calculated risk. The Cardinals looked good against the Colts, and some people would probably argue the Colts are the best team in the league right now. And if the Cardinals can drop 27 on the Colts, and the Packers, a team that's notorious for struggling against bad teams, losing to the Browns and struggling with, I can't use another example. I can't think of something right now, but the Packers are a very strange team because they look like the best team in football for a while, but and then the tie with the Cowboys, losing to the Browns, they struggle with mediocre teams. And what other team is more mediocre than the Cardinals? And they're at home, so all that put together. But I expect this to be an exciting game. Cardinals Packers games are always super exciting, so I'm looking forward to this one. Greg will take the Packers 27-20, which I can see happening, but I don't think the Packers offense is actually that good. Their defense is also skeptical or suspicious or whatever word. Their defense is a bit sus. Micah Parsons is good, but I don't know. There's just something off about the Packers. Zach will also take the Packers 28-17. I expect this game to be a really good game, so I would definitely watch it. Cowboys, Commanders. This should also be a good game, but I'm going to take the Commanders purely because the Cowboys are at home. And I feel like a lot of people forget that the Cowboys suck at home. The Cowboys are a much better away team than they are a home team. So, as much as it would make sense for the Cowboys to drop 40 on here, I don't think that they will. 27, okay, though, but I'll take the Commanders. Greg will take the Cowboys, which makes sense, but I don't know. Whenever I'm predicting Cowboys games, I always think the opposite. So I think, okay, if they're away, they have a good chance to win. If they're home, they probably have a less good chance to win. Zach is going to take the Cowboys 40-37. I hope it's a high scoring game like this. I mean, the Cowboys defense sucks, so it would make sense. Sunday night football, Falcons Niners is always a good game. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick my team here. I'm going to pick the 49ers to win it by 3. I like the 49ers at home. I don't know. It's a weird game. I picked the Falcons to win last week and I was correct about that, but I feel like the Falcons are also a very hard team to predict, like especially after they lost 30-0 to the Panthers. But I don't know. I just feel like I think Bijan's going to have a great game, but there's just something about the 49ers. Like they're the most injured team in football right now, but they still have a heart. And I think that Hart can win them this game. Greg disagrees. The Falcons are the smart pick here, especially because the Falcons always play pretty good against the 49ers. This was mostly just a value pick because, as you can see, Zach also took the Falcons. So, purely just for value, I'll take the 49ers in this game. But yeah, this would make sense that the Falcons win this. Bucks Lions, this should be a really good game, really good Monday night football game. I'll take the Lions by 3. I just think the Buccaneers record is too high for the way they've been playing. I mean, they've been playing good, but I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical of the Buccaneers' potential fraud alert. I know that sounds weird because the Buccaneers have looked so explosive, but I don't know. There's just something that's a little bit off. And I think the Lions are definitely going to capitalize on that. Greg will take the Buccaneers, which makes sense. The Buccaneers have looked really good, but so have the Lions. Well, actually, the Lions just lost to the Chiefs. Anyway, I trust the Lions defense more than the Buccaneers defense. I think the Buccaneers have gotten really lucky on the defenses that they've had to play. So I will I'm taking the Lions. You already know that. And then Zach will also take the Lions in a shootout, 41-38. Everybody expects this to be a high scoring game because, I mean, how could it not? I would say these are the two top offenses in the league right now. So this should be a really good game. And then the last game we have Texans Seahawks. I'll take the Seahawks by 7. I think it will be a pretty good game. Very interesting game. I trust Seattle's defense a little bit more. The Texans have a great defense, but I don't know. Also, offense, I think the Seahawks offense is a little bit better. Um, and the Seahawks are at home, so everything's really pointing towards the Seahawks. But if there was anything that I think that anything pointing towards the Texans to win this game, it would be their defense. Their defense has to step up in this game. Um, I mean, so does their offense, but I don't know. Greg is going to take the Seahawks too by 10, which makes sense. I just feel like the Seahawks at home, that's definitely a big advantage for them. And then Zach will take the Texans by 2. So that's another surprise pick. I think we did pretty good this week on all picking different games from each other. I think there was only like 3 or 4 games